because my daughter is autistic and she is absolutely awesome. And sometimes I'm learning about my relationship with her, and I often think there's a great phrase, which I think is slightly wrong, which says, treat people as you would like to be treated. And I actually think it should be treat people as they would like to be treated. So in terms of my vocabulary, Tom, how would you describe yourself? Learn from you. I would be able to have a better conversation with my daughter or more of the autistic community, because I'm clumsily enthusiastic sometimes, Tom, and I say things that goes, oh, no, that's just wrong. So just give me 1 or 2 minutes about you, Tom, and the best way that I can help and support and be there for other autistic children and adults.
Well, it's basically like sometimes that extra guidance is needed, and I'm lucky sometimes because most autistic children or anyone with autism don't understand the certain ways that people explain certain things, or the certain conversations to have and what not to have. But in a way, even though there is also the downsides to having autism, it's kind of like carried me in a way. And it's kind of like, even though it kind of like makes me feel in the dumps at times, I always am grateful, because if I didn't have autism, it probably wouldn't have gave me the certain traits that I've been gifted in a way. So
and so would you decide, do you say to people, I am autistic, or do you say I'm living with autism? What's the best language that we can use?
I just say that I have a bit of autism, like it's kind of like just there, but I don't know the best way to word it, but it's like I have a bit of it. So
and your school, so do I describe, so my daughter goes to a fabulous school called Beach Lodge. And do you prefer us to talk about your school as a school for those with additional needs, additional learning? How is it a special needs school, or tell me what's the best language to talk about schools, wonderful schools like yours?
I would say it's like one of those type of situations where it's like, it's definitely special needs, but there's always like different categories for like each spectrum of the type of pupils that are in the school. So,
and tell me, because there are potholes in life, aren't there? We want to avoid potholes and in any way offending. What vocabulary should I never use for children or adults with autism? What are the words that just go, oh no, about our amazing community like
that? Usually there hasn't been like something the way people word it. It's usually just like specific words on how people feel, or but surprisingly, I don't have that. Funny enough, I only ever experienced this once, and it was, I went through a stage back in 2017 where I got that in like enveloped or whatever it is, where like you get like really serious about it, and that was the word opinion, because I went through a stage where, because people clashed because of opinions, it kind of got into my head. But luckily I went away from that stage, but there are still autistic people out there who don't like specific words because of the meaning and how it kind of like clashes in their mind. So it's mainly that's the thing to worry about.
Okay, well, if I say anything at all, because we're all learning, always learning. Your sponge-like brains will always take little tidbits in. If there's anything that I use in my words, please pull me up. Feedback is a gift, and I really enjoy spending some time with you on this podcast.